The Marion County Police Department is responding to criticisms following the treatment of a 28-year-old homeless man. This is in Oregon, and apparently 28-year-old Kevin Straw was arrested after entering a command post and what they claim disturbing a rescue operation. Now, the rescue operation had to do with two individuals who had gone missing after a fishing trip. It was Josh Cox and Corbin Cox. But 28-year-old Kevin Straw is known for being a homeless man who has mental health issues. In fact, he's known for going around town yelling about cougars and how you need to watch out for the cougars and how you need to watch out for special military or military special forces. Now, here's how authorities responded to him after he apparently was warning them about cougars.
Okay, here's the problem. You're under arrest. Do not do anything. I'm not doing. Put your hand behind your back. Hands behind your back. No! No! You're gonna leave. Stop! Get his feet up.
Hey! Hey! I am not resisting! I am not resisting! I am not! Stop!
You're gonna get tased.
Stop! Stop! Stop!
Hand behind your
Help! Help!
You're gonna get tased.
Help! Help! Stop! Stop!
Get your hand behind your back. You're gonna get behind your
Stop!
back. You're gonna get tased. You're gonna get tased.
I'm trying!
Behind your
I'm
back now.
disabled!
No,
I'm
get your
disabled!
hand behind your
It
back.
hurts! It hurts! It hurts! No, stop! I'm not touching it!
So the sheriff's deputy, his name's Ethan Griffith, said that he is a transient and was making loud noises and refused to leave, which, by the way, indicates that he probably has a mental health issue. And responding to a person with a mental health issue that way is uncalled for, at the very least, by the way. I'm being generous in describing it that way.
So let's reverse the situation. Let's say that the cops were being loud, which happens all the time. And a citizen came up and decided to just start punching a cop in the face, pin him down, put his knee on there, keep punching him in the face. And then they asked, "Are you insane? What are you doing to the cop?" And he said, "No, he was being loud." Now, how much prison time does that guy get? Is it a year? Is it 5 years? Is it 10 years? That's a pretty serious assault. If you did it to a cop, you would be in a world of trouble. Cop does it to you for something, what, transient? What does that mean? That means you were hanging out in public and you were loud. I mean, I know in Florida they killed a guy for playing music loud in his own home, right? The cops did. But so this is, are we okay with this? I'm just asking you guys. If you're
Some portion of the country is.
Yeah. I mean, so I know progressives generally, not generally, almost completely not okay with it. I would imagine most independents not okay with it. But the right wing, are you okay with it? Is that like you look at that and go, well, hey man, that person who might have mental health issues.
No, has mental health issues, has mental health issues.
Well, he shouldn't have had mental health issues.
Okay,
he
so,
shouldn't have been loud.
So all those people who want to talk about the importance of funding mental health care when there's a mass shooting, where are they? Where are all those people today? Nowhere to be found, right? They don't care about mental health issues. They don't care about people who are suffering from mental health issues and don't have the resources to get help. They love using that as an excuse or a scapegoat so they never have to talk about gun control, right? But in this case, they're nowhere to be found. They don't care about mental health care at all. They're totally okay with police brutalizing a homeless man who has a clear mental health issue.
So it might be that he was not putting his hands behind his back because of that, or it might be because you.
But he was putting his hands behind his back.
No, for a little while he doesn't. You know why? Because you're punching him in the face. So what is a natural human reaction when someone's punching you in the face? Cover up your face, right? So as he's punching you in the face, is there any human that reacts by not doing this, but doing this? Oh, you're punching me in the face? Yeah, great, all right. I know the right wing. We are authoritarian. You must follow the commands of the government officials. You obey.
Right. The ones who want small government, who, by the way, make the argument that they need to arm themselves with all sorts of military-grade weaponry because they want to make sure to fight back against the tyrannical government. That is all BS. It's all BS. They love big government. They love authoritarianism. They love the police state. They've been supporting it and pushing for it for decades now, and this is the result of it.
And do they actually want the cops to be safe? No, they're actually in favor of legislation that would have armor-piercing bullets.
That would legalize it.
That would legalize it. And so they don't mind if you actually shoot cops, because the cops are the only ones wearing armor, right? If you shoot the cops to kill, to get past their armor, that's okay. But if they're brutalizing a guy with mental health issues, that's fine. That's the situation where you say, cops are awesome, wonderful cops, okay? But if they're impinging on my rights or what I perceive to be rights, I get to kill them and murder them. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. How about this? How about we have cops who protect and serve the citizens
that pay them,
and then we protect the cops. We don't allow for silencers or armor-piercing bullets, and then we have a relationship where we pay them to protect us, and then we appreciate that, and then it works like kind of how it's supposed to in a democracy, but. Instead, we have this, an incredibly dysfunctional, broken system, and a huge percentage of the country applauds. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.